Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video we'll complete the second part from the design database of social media application. So this is small social media application. So in the last video we just make primary design for the basic entity of social media like user profile, post, comment, and like and save post. So this video will focus on first the friendship feature, chat feature, and notification feature, and maybe also we can add group feature. So let's start. Now we just need a user. So let's begin with the first feature, the friendship feature. So first here the user can send a request to other friend, and the other friend, so one from this friend, can receive many requests. So here the relationship is what is many to many, because the user can send more than request, one or more, so one to many friend, and the other users can receive one or more than a request. Okay, so we want to add a pivot table because here the relation is many to many. So we have friend friendship. Okay, and we have two columns, so we need the ID of the sender of the request, and we need the ID of the receiver of the request. So we just name sender ID. Okay, and we need receiver ID. Okay, so and here the sender ID and the receiver ID, the foreign key, belong to the user ID. So one to many. Also one to many. Also, I think to add status, so status of the request, and here it will be enum. So the status can, for example, accept or in progress or blocked or reject. So this is the status of the friendship. Okay, now let's move to the most important feature on social media is the chat. So I want to send a message, start conversation. So here let's first think about it. So the user should have message or chat room, and maybe large beginner make sender ID or receiver ID and the content of the message. But here is when you want to just focus on one-to-one private message, so one user with one user. But in social media, we can have, for example, group of chat, like more than user chat on the same room. So here we need the conversation. Okay, so the conversation, it represents the chat itself. So here the conversation. Okay, so now what is the relation between the conversation and the user? So the user can have multiple conversation, and the conversation itself can have multiple user. Okay, so the relation here is many to many, so we need a pivot table that related the conversation table with the user table using two foreign key. So I need the, for example here, let's name conversation users, or let's make conversation member, so that's more clear. Okay, so and this contain two column, one of user ID and the second of conversation ID related to the conversation user with ID. Okay, so let so here the user ID. So the user can have more than uh, conversation, and the conversation itself contain uh, more than user. Okay, so now we move to the message. So the message, we just need the sender ID and the content of the message. Okay, and this message will should belong to any conversation. Okay, so we need another table for message. So this what contain the content of the message. So messages. So we need the sender ID. So represent the ID of the user that sent the message, and the content of the message. Okay, content of the message, and here should be text. Okay, so content of the message, and this message, sorry, will belong to any conversation. Okay, so we need the conversation ID. Okay, so now the sender ID should belong to the user. So here the relation is one to many, because the user can send one or more than message, so many message. So one to many, and the conversation ID should belong to conversation ID of conversation table. One to many. So the conversation can contain more than message. Okay, and this message should belong to specific conversation. Okay, so this is for the uh, chat features. I think is more clear. So this is what. Okay, the ID. So this should not be nullable. See other. Okay, okay. Now, what is the so here also we should user ID and conversation ID to be unique, so to prevent the duplicated action. So I want to be unique key. Okay, so now also what the next features is about the groups. So before we jump to design group, we think about the relation. So the user can join one or more than group. So the relation is one to many, but the group itself can contain more than user. So the relation here is many to many. So we want to create another table. Okay, let's name groups, and this table contain first the title of the groups, so it will be var character, and description of the group, it will be text. Okay, and for example here I think this column. Now we need a pivot table. So here group member. Okay, so we need related user with the group with relation with sub relation one to many from each other, user and groups. So here user ID, and we need the group ID. Also we need when the user joined the group. So join at, so this it will be instant, and we related the foreign key, so one to many, and here one to many. Okay, so this one to many and one to many. And for the group, now we also need the most also uh, important feature for the social media, like notification system. So we just design the notification. So here the notification should belong to user, okay? But the user can have one or more than notifications, so the relation is one to many. So for the notification, we have the user ID. We need the user ID, and also the, for example, content of the notification. For example, like if user liked your post, send a request, receive the request, uh, join group, and notification also what? Okay, so user ID, and here let make relation one to many. Okay, one to many. We have the content. So this I think is the most important feature for the social media application. So let uh, make summary. So the user friendship, we have sender ID, user, receiver ID. The relation here is many to many. For the chat, we have the conversation. I just make a pivot table because the user can have one or more than conversation, and the conversation can have multiple user. Okay, so the relation here is many to many. We have the pivot table related conversation sorry with the users. Now for the message, we have just the sender ID, so the user ID, and the user can send more than message, so the relation here is many, one to many. And this message should belong to user. And for the message that sent by the user should belong to conversation ID. Okay, and the conversation also can have multiple or more than message. Okay, now for the group, also many to many, because the user can join one or more than groups. So, and the group itself contain many users. So here we need the user ID and the group ID and the time that the user joined the group. Okay, for the notification, we have the user ID because the notification should be specific to user, and the user can contain more than notification. So here the relation is one to many, and the content of the message. Okay, so I think this is more simplified, and I should to stop here. I don't need the video to be more long. So if you like this content of the video, don't forget to like, and below in the comment make your feedback, and I see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.